Hello, 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 everybody.
Hello, hello.
Hopefully you can hear us. There's a green light on that one. There's a green light on this one.
Okay.
Even though we have the air on, you should be able to hear us. It's like magic.
Lucky you.
Now we can be nice and cool.
Yeah.
Usually it's real hot in here real fast.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the channel.
Thank you.
Tell us what you read last month. I'm so excited to hear about the 6th Mick.
Okay, so last time I was in the middle of...
The Juliet?
Yes, Juliet Willoughby.
Mm-hmm.
So, finish that.
I don't need to read it, do I?
Nah.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Nah, you don't need to read it.
Okay.
I mean, I gave it back to you anyway. But
Thank you kindly.
you're welcome. And then, because I was excited to read my new book, so I started reading that. If I had a list of what the did I just read?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be like at the top of the list. If this author has any friends, they should check on him because he is not okay. He is not okay. God, how do I not give you spoilers?
Well, I'm not going to read it. You can give me all the spoilers.
So it's like 3 different parts. The beginning is you get to know the character, and the end is what happens when they get to their destination. The middle part, their ship is built or grown. It's a biological ship, and they yank a tooth out of each person and they put it into whatever grows this ship. And so the ship is attuned, like it has DNA from these 5 people. Like you're living inside an organism, and so the ship swallows you to where you want to go in the ship. I had to keep reminding myself that this character is an 11-year-old girl.
Oh.
They only live to be 12. The nicks are these metal things that they implant in the baby's brain.
Oh.
It gives them special powers, but the whole ship part in the middle was it was really hard to stomach. If you have a sensitive stomach, I would not recommend.
Oh my gosh.
Like it was and the things it's doing to this child, it impregnates this girl.
No.
Yes. Really hard to, like, disturbing.
Oh, dear. So you didn't like it.
Oh, I gave it a 4.
You did like it.
It's gonna live here rent-free for a really long time.
Oh my gosh.
So then after I read that, I worked my way through that other pile of books you gave me. I read Hex.
You read Hex?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You liked it?
It was,
That's one where there's like
fine.
a witchy lady
Yeah.
in a little town?
yeah.
Okay.
And then what did I read? I read The Golden Spoon.
Okay.
That was cute. I'm halfway through. Well, 2/3 of the way through. We Used to Live Here.
Oh, yeah.
Very atmospheric. Very creepy.
I'm so glad you're reading We Used to Live Here. That's a good one. For this month's Buzzword, it's...
Be proud of me.
Ow!
Be proud of me.
You looked it up?
I looked it up. Theme is groups. Like the society or the club or the whatever. It's groups of people, right?
Yeah.
And then the cover challenge, it has to look like it's been through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any kind of damage is fine. Like somebody asked, like, what about if it has like blood spatters on it? And I was like, yeah, like that's damage. Yeah. And then I had a couple people message me and show me the book that they were reading, and it's just that their physical book has water damage. They're like, I dropped this in the tub a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to read this. I was like,
there you go.
Yeah.
That works.
So what I'm reading, I already have it, is this. It's Monsters in the Archives. Have you heard of it?
No.
Okay, so this is like one of the only Stephen King, I don't think it's necessarily a biography. It's more about his work, but it's one of the only ones that he has ever actually like collaborated with. Like Caroline Bix is not just writing about him, like she spent a year with him, My Year of Fear. And she went through all of his like original like work that he has stored and like no one's ever seen.
Right.
And then she's writing, I think, like essays on each one. So there's one about like Carrie and how Carrie came to be, and like his original, like the first thing he ever wrote with the idea of Carrie on it, and stuff like that. So I think this is going to be
interesting.
It does. So like there's a whole chapter on Pet Sematary, and I've had this anticipated for so long, and I didn't think I'd get it from the library, but I turned out to be like the very first person to reserve it.
Oh.
So I'm going to read this. And then I already have my plans for the club and groups, because I have these 2 books on my TBR. This is The Society, The Mysterious Society of Lady Scoundrels, and the Ex-Girlfriend Murder Club. Right. So I'm choosing between these 2. So I don't actually need to buy anything today.
Well, look at you.
Will that stop me?
No.
No.
Of course not.
I have a list of things I'm going to buy.
Okay.
And then I have to buy you a book. What the heck are you looking for?
I'm going to refer to my want to read list on Goodreads, because I know I have a few on there. See which one sounds appealing today. There's a There's a vampire one.
Ooh.
I think it's a trilogy, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But it's highly recommended. I'll have to look at what the first book is called. And yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look around.
Let's go.
I feel like they knew I was coming. Hot Girl
Everyone
Murder
in the
Club.
group chat dies.
Group chat. Death Row Club. Part of a reading challenge. Maybe it's for my reading challenge. They're
There
so
you
thoughtful.
go.
Oh, club.
Oh, we've read that one.
What's happening there?
Do we want to know?
We're looking for romantic. We're in the wrong letters.
Yeah. Well, these all say fantasy.
L. M. Was it MC?
Yeah.
Okay, then it would be here. Oh, that looks like it's the same series.
Stacey McEwen. Okay. Forbidden Alchemy. Here we go.
That's nice that it's in paperback.
Yeah.
This must have been out for a bit.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
think
that's only book 2. So it's still a new series.
Yeah.
I want one. I already forgot what it's called.
Oh.
Oh, Wild Goose Chase. It's called Wild Goose Chase. Doesn't that sound fun?
Okay.
I think her last name started with an A. I just put my phone away.
Oh, God.
There's not that many A's, though. Look, it's pink. I literally heard of this book maybe 2 days ago, and I decided I have to have it. I like an adventure romance. And I think she writes, I've read one from her, and it was like a road trip.
Mrs. Nash's Ashes.
That's the one I read.
An antique dealer and his inconveniently irresistible new colleague must contend with an illicit stuffed goose and their sizzling attraction. Sounds fun.
Stuffed goose. That's for me. The Mashup, last name Myers. This one was a book of the month pick, and I said no to it. And since then, I've seen everybody talk about it.
Oh.
And I've decided I need it. But now it's sold out at Book of the Month. Okay, so the book
Much
that I was
better.
just talking about at the end, I didn't show you guys because someone was standing there. But it was The Mashup. Have you've played MASH? I'm sure you've played MASH, where it's like mansion, apartment, shack, house. And then you write down like 4 names of 4 boys you want to marry. And then you write down 4 occupations you want to have.
Old.
And then, yeah, but we played it in Girl Guides. I feel like maybe you would have witnessed it happening.
Okay. I'm sure I saw you doing this.
Okay.
As a kid. I
feel
never
like it
played
should have existed when you were a kid.
There was a game you had. Something about telephone.
Dream Phone?
Yes, Dream Phone. I remember you playing Dream Phone.
I love Dream Phone. Oh my God, somebody did this deep dive on TikTok recently, looking up all of the men who were on there, like all the boys, the teenage boys, and they're like how they got into that game, like how their modeling agency got them, and like what they're doing now. And I thought it was so fun.
Funny.
So in this game, like you write down all these things on a paper, and then you pick a number, and it's like 4, and so then you cross out every 4th one. And then you keep going and you keep going until you only have 1 left in each category, and then that's your life.
Oh,
so I'll live in a mansion, and I'll be a veterinarian.
Sounds fun.
And I'm gonna marry this boy. And it's, so it's like that.
Okay.
But it's like, have you seen 13 Going on 30?
I think so.
I think it's like that, where she transports back to her teenage self. Or
Jennifer
like
Garner, right?
Yeah. Or she like gets the life that she made in MASH.
Yeah.
So it's like a little speculative.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is, and it sounds kind of fun. Okay, then I grabbed Appetite, which we have a prep cook working at a restaurant. Where does it say the thing? She meets Sierra Mist, who is a professional wrestler. Her desire to make Sierra happy soon threatens everything she's worked for. It just sounds a little goofy silly. I got Wild Goose Chase.
Toxic best friend kind of thing.
That we showed you. I do like a toxic friendship story, actually. And then this is Time Travel for Beginners. It's thicker than I thought. And I'm just really in my time travel era. There's one person who works for a time travel agency, and then there's 2 people who are also time traveling, and they all like some drama happens between the 3 of them or something. Oh, and then I also got my 2027 official planner.
Ooh.
Look how cute it is. It's a bee. It's a bee. And Mama got one that I've heard of for sure.
Okay, yeah, this was the one that I went in thinking I was looking for. J. Christoph, The Empire of the Vampire, showed up on my feed on Instagram of one of the most popular trilogies, and it was about vampires. I haven't read a vampire lately, so
That's true.
Yeah.
I grew up with like Anne Rice being a very like represented author
yes.
whose like name I always saw on your shelves. And I was always like, I don't want to read that. I know I read Interview with the Vampire at some point in my life. Yeah, but I don't remember it. So I don't have it like marked as read anywhere or like rated because I don't really know. And then a romantasy because it's been months.
Kayla figured I should read a romantasy. So here we are. A Forbidden Alchemy. All
I
right.
am always looking for romantasy recommendations, but there's nobody that I trust for recommendations. There's like nobody who I know that has like the exact same taste as me. But I
What-
feel like you'll be able to read it and then tell me if I
What was it?
could like it.
We read something that made it sound interesting.
Oh, slow burn romantasy following a fated pair who uncover a world-changing secret and are thrust into a violent class war navigating love loss and devastating betrayals.
Right. That's what sounded interesting. We shall see.
It's rated quite highly.
Is it? Good. A world-changing secret and an impossible choice.
We will check in with Mama next month to see what she thought about the books. Very excited. For me, I am currently reading Monsters in the Archives, and I think I'm already going to call this a success. I think it's exactly what it should be, and Caroline Bix is handling this perfectly. For one, we are getting chapter by chapter specific books. So I just read Pet Sematary, and then I read The Shining. Now we're moving on to Night Shift, which have I read? Do I remember? Don't really remember. But then after this, we get one I for sure haven't read since I was like a teenager, Salem's Lot. And I think after those four, because of my differing experiences with those four stories, the first two I have recently reread, like within the last 7 years. Pet Sematary was last year or the year before. Meanwhile, Night Shift I don't really remember. And the other one, like I said, it's been 20 years since I read. And I was thinking when I was reading the first two chapters that this is probably most enjoyable. I was just doing reading sprints with my channel members for 4 hours, and I got through the first 100 pages of this. We weren't reading for all four, we were chatting, but we do a couple of reading sprints. That this is probably most enjoyable for people who have recently read these things. She's doing a good job of telling us what the pitch of the book is, what the plot of the book is in her own words. So it's not like you're going to be confused if you haven't recently read it, but just the ways that she is plucking different scenes and different lines and even specific words that have changed from the first manuscript to the one that we have read. I think that if you aren't familiar with the story or you haven't read it in decades, it's just not gonna land the same. Because I very recently read Pet Sematary, that first chapter I thought was just so perfect. The mix of everything is really well done. Like I said, talking about what the story's about, talking about the changes from the manuscripts, but then also she's talking about her own personal experience, like why Pet Sematary or why The Shining freaked her out, or her first experience reading it, what she knew about it before she got to dig into the Stephen King archives and get access to these exclusive, like, first jotting down of ideas. Not to mention we get imagery of that. The 1979 typed out concept where this record is stored and what she thought about it, and even her now going back and forth with Stephen King himself. She'll say, like, I sent him a message asking him why he changed this thing, and he never responded. He remains elusive even while letting people in on everything. Maybe he doesn't have an answer. Maybe he doesn't want to reveal the answer of like why he changed a name from this name to this name. But there's other instances where he does let her know and lets us know for maybe the first time. It's so hard to know for sure, like, how much, if you are yourself a Stephen King scholar and like you have followed every single interview he's ever done, every single, short story he's written in every single magazine, you would know what he's talked about and hasn't before. For me, I don't know if this is brand new information, if she's the one person who got the insight into this, if he's really letting her in on this like super secret situation, or if he's spoken about this before. And I feel like he probably doesn't even remember. Who knows what and what little details have come out over the years about his writing process and, the adaptations and his perspective on all of them. Because as far as like his perspective on The Shining, she is just sharing details like the entire internet kind of already knows. But then we get little moments where she's like, and then I asked Stephen why this happened. Or comparing, there's multiple moments where she compares scene to scene. In the original manuscript, it said this. It said, it referred to this monster as it for 20, not it like the clown, but it as in an entity and not a human, 20 times. Meanwhile, in the final version that we have all read, it refers to it as him half the time because he wanted to humanize the monster and he chose to do this. And there's lots of conjecture by her, but there's plenty of like evidence of what she's saying too. And those first 2 chapters were exactly what I expected this to be. Her sharing her own stuff and then his stuff and then the book stuff. Everything is right. There's something that's missing, and either I'm gonna find it or I'm gonna realize what it is by the end. And I will say that the audiobook is narrated well. I was just listening to it, but I think the physical copy is much better, not just because there are pictures, but because when she's saying a line from the book, the first manuscript, and then a line from the final manuscript, I just don't think it lands very well listening to it, but seeing it and like the differences side by side, I think there's a better emphasis when you're reading it physically. But I'm glad there's an audiobook as well to listen along with. Welcome to our new vlog segment. Rob and Kayla go to the gym. Wow. He doesn't look excited, does he? Well, I'm not gonna take you into the gym though, because I would never film in the gym. But I did a live show today. I filmed a video today. I edited it. I've just been sitting around all day and it's too smoky to be outside. So we're gonna go to the gym, and I'm gonna be reading the last essay in here, which is Carrie. I didn't realize it was ending so soon. I'm pretty far from the end still, but there's a huge part that is just like, what's it called? Sources for where she got all of this information. And I was correct that reading physically was a little bit better. And I was correct that if I don't have recent memory of the stories, then the essay just isn't going to be as interesting. So I would say definitely read everything that's referenced in here before you read this. If you just have a vague memory of it from 20 years ago, I don't know that we're getting as much out of it, even though I feel like she's doing everything correctly, and I don't have a complaint about this. Okay, I finished it, and I'm gonna give this 4 stars. I liked it. It accomplished exactly what it set out to do. She is essentially like a Stephen King scholar. Like, she knows so much about his work, and she got the very exclusive chance to communicate with him. I do wonder if like maybe when she set out to write this, it kind of feels like Carrie was the first one she wrote. Just, it's so good and it's so thorough and it's so detailed, and it feels like that is maybe what she like kind of like sent out there for, I don't know, agents or publishers to pick up, or however publishing works. And then, I don't know, I just don't feel like the rest of them have that much substance. Like, it's literally word changes. The things that she comes up with and explains the impact that certain words have is interesting, but I think a lot of it is also just kind of a stretch. Like, it's going from the word eased to urged, really that impactful. And I can't imagine how much time she must have spent, like, to notice the one word changes, how much she must have poured over all of these stories. And I wonder if she feels like she got enough out of it, because it feels like he also didn't really communicate with her that much or give her that much that she might have wanted. I think everyone will probably like Carrie the most of all of these essays. And it doesn't bring anything new to the table as far as the discussion about adolescent girls and puberty and the idea that they suddenly have this power, this influence. I think what's most interesting about that one is the one fun fact I learned that Carrie wasn't originally set in Maine. And considering how much Maine became known as Stephen King's like setting, obviously it's where he's from, and a lot of people say that like he put Maine on the map for horror. It's interesting that he didn't even care to originally set it there, like it was somebody else's idea maybe. It's kind of like when you go on IMDb and you look at, if you're somebody who loves looking at little fun facts on IMDb like I do, I think it'll be interesting enough. But you know how you can like put a little thumbs up or a thumbs down next to the trivia that you found interesting or not? I wouldn't have put like a thumbs up or down to any of these. It was all just kind of, okay, like I guess that's interesting enough. I like how much she brought it back to Shakespeare. There was a lot of that because he also references that in his work. Ultimately, successful. Glad that I read it. Don't know that it was as revealing as I thought it might be, being a first of its kind exploration of Stephen King. Oh my gosh, another car update. How boring. Do I ever leave this vehicle? I'm going for a hair appointment. I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I might do a chunk of blonde right here, and then probably some layering because it's getting a little scraggly. I have started this book. I was back and forth between which one I wanted to read, and this is a book that I feel like I do myself a bit of a disservice when I do trying the first chapter of 20 books on my TBR, because this is one that I've started. I think I've started twice. And it's like in those scenarios, I'm almost looking for reasons to not continue all of the books, because there's one that I'm looking for that is like the perfect magical piece of the puzzle for a specific video. And so then these books that I don't end up picking, they just sit in the back of my mind as like almost a negative reading experience. And then I never want to pick them up. But now I picked it up and I fully committed. I was like, it doesn't matter if I've read the first chapter before and I'm a little bit bored. It doesn't matter if I'm not super intrigued by the beginning, because I know I felt that before. I'm just going to commit. And I committed and I loved it from the very beginning. So I will say I was a little bit confused by the beginning though, because we meet a character named Ned Lightbourne, but he goes by a couple different names, or he's referred to differently by different people. And I thought we were following different people who were like trying to assassinate this main character. Her name's Cecilia. She's a part of the Lady Scoundrels, but she's not like super high up in this society. She's not taken super seriously. She's more of like a junior, and they're all pirates and they have these houses that can fly. And I was like, that's a little bit too fantastical for me, the idea that we're like driving around these houses, but that's really not the vibe. Most of it is set just more or less in reality, and except they have magic, but it's more so just physical, like reality. They have weapons, and it's almost, no, it is like an honor to have somebody who is set to assassinate you, because it means you're kind of important enough, you're dangerous enough, you have enough of a reputation that people are trying to take you out. So she sees it as like a compliment that there's this man after her, but different people want different things. So like there's somebody who's hired him to kill her, and there's someone else hiring to like protect her and to bring her in, and somebody's like, oh, bring me her toe, and he's like, okay, I'll bring you her toe, but it's gonna be attached to her whole body because I don't think I actually want to kill her. He's a scoundrel. She's a Victorian lady, but she's also dangerous herself, and she's fighting and she's throwing things and protecting people that she cares about. And I just really like the style of it, and I'm so glad, because I love India Holton's, the first book I read from her, The Ornithologist Field Guide to Love, and then gave a 3-star to the second book, gave a 4-star to the third book. So like that's a good series for me. And then this one, I accidentally bought the second book before this one, because this looks like the first book in a series to me. And so now, and then I also bought the third one. Now I have all three of them, and I was like, I don't want to feel like I wasted my money, because I don't do that very often, like buy an entire series before I've even read the first one. But I really do feel like India Holton is going to be an author that I think of as a favorite. I just love the vibe. I love the like satirical kind of romance, and it is really like she is letting them be lusty towards each other. They already have their mouths on each other halfway through the book, and they're constantly like getting really close to each other and threatening each other. The other one is like, are they actually flirting with me? I love it, I love it. I even love the chapter titles that are so descriptive and long, and it's like everything that's about to happen in that chapter. And then India Holton has another book coming out next year. I think the cover is so beautiful, but it sounds like it's more of a cozy romantasy. And I think in her announcement of it, she said like, I have loved doing the satirical, historical romance stuff, and now I just want to do something, I don't know, nice and romantic. So I'm interested to see what that is. But I just love her writing. So I feel like I'll just love everything she does. Okay, and now I'll see you after this looks a little bit better. And it's done. I think it looks fun. I read a little bit more of my book, and it's just great banter. I'm having a fun time. Very happy to be reading it. Happy with my hair. I think it's funny that I went in and I'm like, cover these white hairs, but then give me a whole chunk of white hair. She's a wizard. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna read some more. Update on the book. I'm approaching the final quarter, and I really like it. I don't know what more to say about it. I feel like a lot of people could read this and be annoyed by like how funny it's trying to be and the dynamic between these two, because it is very romance forward, but there is a plot. And what's fun is watching her getting this guy to also help save the people who he's against, and like all the people who mean so much to her, and all these women who've been working together and living together for so long. She just wants to support them and protect them, and I think that's really beautiful. But their like witty banter is so much, and it's like they're constantly this close to each other's faces, like having this witty banter and then being like, but I couldn't help but place my lips upon his cheek. His sexual innuendos are kind of out of control, and I don't know if everybody would be into it. It's got that Veronica Speedwell energy to it, where there's a whole bunch of side characters that feel really strong and really interesting that maybe you'll see throughout the entire series. It's funny because I don't know anything about the series. Like, I don't know if there's any characters that we've met in here. Sorry, I'm trying to find a specific chapter title. That feel like they're going to be the stars of the next book, or if it's more like the Ornithologist series where you don't know until the book begins like who the focus is going to be. Like, you have never met that character at all. Maybe it's more of that kind of vibe, because I don't know if there's anybody in here that I've met that I think would take the focus. There's like a couple characters. Where the heck? I wasn't tabbing. I don't know what happened. There was one chapter called something about a secret garden, and the chapter that came before it, I was giggling. Oh, here we go. This chapter is called A Hearty Discussion, Death at a Seance, Two Alexanders, Into the Dark, Ned silences Cecilia, Ned is assaulted, a traitor discovered, pox and other infestations, the dead mother's secret garden. We have the typical Victorian ladies who are supposed to be kind and respectful and polite and quiet. And so they have these moments where they're giving each other like backhanded compliments, and it was all very stupid. Jane was like, I do declare you yourself appear in excellent health despite your aunt's regular concern. Those few extra pounds you've put on suit you. And Cecilia said, I needn't have feared for your own health after all, as I see you now quite safe and unfettered in my father's lair, partaking of his hospitality and his toast and marmalade and eggs and ham and kippers, and goodness me, steak cutlets. I envy one with such a hearty appetite, who can yet remain so exceedingly thin. She said, you must tell me where you procured your dress. I've not seen such a style in decades. Cecilia said, it was my mother's. I did not take you for having an interest in fashion. You're always so discreet with what you wear. And then Ned throws a dagger at someone and he's like, oh, my hand slipped. I still think the flying houses of it all is a little bit silly, and I don't really care about it nor for it. And none of them are very good at flying their houses anyway. And that's a whole point of the book, is like who can fly the house and where you have to park it. But it's giving the book a unique kind of moment. So, and it's memorable. So there's that. Final rating. What are we going to call it? I feel like I've liked two other India Holtons more than this. And that makes this a 3.75. I can't quite give it a 4. And the worst news is I don't really think I need to continue the series. I just don't think I care enough about the world of the pirate witch stuff to read about characters who I haven't met yet. Like, it's going to take me a lot of motivation to want to pick those up. But I had a good time with this. I really liked the relationship. I liked everything that was happening in the story. I thought it was all interesting. This book is certainly poking fun at a time period, but is very much representing that time period. And so there's many uncomfortable things in here, or there could be. If you really don't like a naive main character, even though all of these women are really capable and strong and violent, they also are just women who swoon over guys, and they aren't told a lot about certain sexual situations. They go into them a little innocently, which you can say, is that realistic or not? Like, what is the author trying to do with that? There is a teenage character who ends up in bed with a man, a grown man. So I could get people not really loving this. I could get people totally loving this. And I'm falling in the middle. More on the like side than not. But I'm just glad I got something off my TBR that I've had for so long. And I was gonna try to make this vlog a little more interesting. I had plans for my evening, but my hairstylist said that I shouldn't be getting my hair wet or even like sweating too much because it could like mess up my color. And so I didn't go do all the fun things that I was gonna take you along for. So once again, I read 2 books. It's a short vlog. Accomplished my goals, check them off the list. The cover, the title. Next month, what are we doing? Can't remember either of them. Good thing it's in my Instagram story highlights. Next month is Fire and Smoke on the cover. Okay. And the title is Me and My. Oh my. I certainly don't have anything planned or anything organized. I don't see anything with me or my. But Fire and Smoke, certainly I can come up with some ideas. So let me know what you read for this prompt. Let me know if you liked it or not, and I will see you next time. Bye!